Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Planescape Torment. Let's see if we can't get into the siege tower somehow. I think this was the location. You approach the location of the portal that the boy, Laszlo, spoke of. You begin to replay your conversation with him in your head. Maybe the secret to getting in is to not want to get in, you hear yourself say. Suppress any desire to enter the tower. Wow. Can I actually... Oh, I saw something show up. Maybe I was imagining it. Nope, we can talk to Coax Metal. You see an iron creature. Its size is staggering. If it stood full height, it would shatter the roof of the siege tower. Thundering echoes rattle the walkway as the creature hammers away on its forge, and the smell of soot and ash fills the air. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
There is the screaming of metal on metal as the giant turns to face you. You suddenly realize the golem is built into the siege tower itself. Girders, pipes, and huge bracers run through its lower torso and into the walls, and the bottom portion of its body makes up the forge itself. What are you? I am iron, given purpose. What purpose? I forge the implements by which the multiverse will be unmade. You mean you're forging weapons? That's your purpose? Metal is like flesh. Both carry potential in their veins. When tempered with heat and pressure, the potential surfaces. My purpose is to bring forth this potential. Allow it expression. Who do you make these weapons for? I forge them for the sake of entropy. They are pain, seeking expression. What does entropy need weapons for? Beyond this tower, order rallies the legions. The multiverse heals its wounds. In time, its strength may equal entropy. So the multiverse is your enemy.
Updated my journal.
The multiverse breathes. It grows. It stagnates. It forges its chains around the planes, link by link. In time, even entropy may be chained. And you're opposed to chaining entropy. When a thing seals itself against its own destruction, it merely dies a different death. What makes that death any worse than another? All things have a common ground in decay. War is necessary. Death is necessary. Decay is necessary. These things may be necessary, but within limits. There are no limits. Limits are one of the links in the chain of order. Limits must be shattered. Even if death is a result, all must fall upon entropy's blade. When the time nears, it will be necessary to breach the walls of creation. Order will be put to the sword. Its chains will be broken. The multiverse will be unmade. I see. I had some other questions. Ask. What are you? Okay, so we did this already. Let's ask something else. What is this place? This tower is a siege engine. It exists to breach the walls between planes. Breach planes? How?
Updated my journal.
The tower anchors itself upon a plane. A wound is torn in the multiverse when the bridge of the tower opens. Legions may pass from one plane to the other through the tower. When the plane has served entropy's purpose, the tower anchors itself again. What happened to the legions that have used this tower? Entropy has unmade them. And what happened to the planes the siege tower invaded? Entropy has unmade them. Oh, wow. So this place is next on the list of places to be destroyed. I see. Ask your next question. Can you tell me more of what you do with weapons? Can you do anything with my weapons? Show me what you have brought. I will study its potential and see if its pain can be given expression. Alright, is he... Wow, is he gonna buy anything? It's kind of weird. Wouldn't make any sense if he would. No, he does not. What is he actually selling? Battle Axe of Quality. That's just a +1 Thaco. We've already got better. Punch Daggers of Shar. +3 enchantment. 1 through 4 piercing. +2 to all saving throws. 35% resistance to magic, fighters, and thieves. These daggers were once wielded by Shar, the Mage Slayer. Shar was an assassin of some merit who decided to specialize in the removal of mages for large sums of gold. To further her goal, she commissioned the creation of these blades by the mage Thex Vorton. With her new weapons in hand, she was quite successful in her craft. Shar met her demise when she was hired to assassinate the very mage who created the daggers. Much to her surprise, the weapons failed to harm their creator, Thex, nor did they grant Shar protection against his spells. Quite clever. Backbiter. 2 through 5 damage piercing, +1 enchanted, +1 piercing damage, 10% bonus to stealth skill, +1 Thaco. Crafted specifically with the Adept Cross Trader in mind, this magical blade masks the approach of the wielder by muffling any sounds he or she might make in passing, thus improving his or her chances of approaching a target by stealth. That seems really useful, but I think I like Anna's current punch daggers better, and I can't use this because I'm a mage. Spiked Gauntlets of Ogre Power. 4 through 6 crushing, 4 through 6 piercing, +1 enchanted, +3 Thaco, usable only by fighters and thieves. A ridge of huge black spikes bristles along the knuckles of these metal gauntlets, allowing the wearer to perforate any target they punch. Clamps line the edges of the gauntlets as if to secure them in place once worn. These gauntlets bear an enchantment that allows the user to strike opponents with the strength of 10 men. The spikes along the knuckles simply add insult to injury, as any victim whose bones are not shattered by the initial attack will slowly bleed to death from the jagged wounds the spikes inflict. Wow. It won't do a lot of damage to certain enemies, in fact it won't be able to harm them with only a +1 enchantment, but this is still a really nice pair of gloves. Maybe I'll go back to being a thief a little later. Much later, when I have 5,400 gold later. Talking about anything else, I wonder. Okay, so we already asked about this. I'm sorry, when I'm trying to figure out what I haven't asked him about. Everybody exhausted those conversation topics. Have you heard of a night hag named Ravel? The night hag sought to sunder this city. Her greatest works were those of unmaking. She walked the path of entropy. Do you know what happened to her?
Updated my journal.
Order set chains about her. She was cast within a cage. Do you know where this cage is? Her prison is unknown to me. I had another question. I had a question about me. Oh, I'm sorry, when I'm skipping stuff, I didn't realize this. So I asked him, why is he making weapons? The iron of my body once existed only as a minor expression of pain. Blades, spears, axes, arrowheads, rivets, and catapults. From these implements of war was I wrought. What happened? These minor expressions of pain were melted to forge this body. My potential was allowed to surface. Now my purpose is to bring out the potential in other metals. You said that someone melted those weapons and forged your body. Who did this? Entropy raised me from the planar battlefields. And you said your purpose is now to forge weapons. Yep. So, why do you do this? Alright, we already got here. Who do you make these weapons for? So we know this is for entropy. I want to get back to where I mentioned being an immortal. So you're saying immortality is just another kind of death. Immortality is only a word. All that exists can die. You're saying you could forge a weapon to kill an immortal. Every living thing has a weapon against which it has no defense. Time, disease, iron, guilt. How do you know what weapon to use? One must know the enemy to forge such a weapon. And how do I do that? Start with a fragment of the enemy, a drop of blood, a crystallized thought, one of its hopes. All of these things tell the way it can die. What if your enemy strikes from a distance, from shadows, and never shows himself? Then that is the fragment of the enemy you must use. How? The actions of your enemy have told you much. Your enemy does not wish to engage you directly. That is a weakness. Or, for some reason, it cannot engage me directly. That is an equal possibility. Either possibility reveals weakness. How do I exploit that? The actions of your enemy have told you it does not wish to engage you directly. That is a weakness. And, yes, how do I exploit that? If the enemy does not wish to confront you directly, deny its wish. Take the battle to the enemy. And if the reason it can't attack me directly is because it has no choice.
Updated my journal.
If it is not allowed to confront you directly, find the reason. The reason will reveal a weakness. You said immortality was just a word, that all that lives can die. Could you make a weapon that could kill me? Yes. How? I would need a drop of your blood. That is all. Another time, perhaps. Thank you, Coaxman. I don't think I actually want to die yet. I want to figure out why I'm dying. Oh, sorry, why I can't die. And who's after me. Okay, now how do we get out of here? This is an awesome place. Hold on, I'm gonna save the game really quick because I want to rip those sound effects out of the game.
I hear your words.
I'm gone.
Okay. So, the coffin maker.
All right.
Alright, let's visit the coffin maker. This strange building appears to be a coffin maker shop. The sign about the door has a slogan, engineered for eternity, clearly written upon it.
All right.
I don't think I'm going to open any of these things. Dimitri. Hamris. You see a tall, slender man with a glassy-eyed expression. He seems engrossed in some tale that the shopkeeper is relating. Occasionally he nods his head, but makes no comments of his own. Hello there. The man turns slightly at your greeting, just long enough to acknowledge your presence. You notice he is a little pale of complexion, and rather gaunt-looking. He is giving you a blank stare. The shopkeeper does not seem to notice any of this, and continues with his stream of useless prattle. Are you all right? The man continues to stare at you and slowly nods. You wait for any further response, but he says nothing, only stares. You're about to turn away in frustration when you think you notice a strange musty odor about the man. Step closer and sniff. You lean in and sniff at the man, unsure what you'll find. As you do, a musty odor fills your senses, an odor you recognize from your time in the mortuary. It is the smell of dead flesh, preserved by magic. You're a zombie, aren't you? The creature continues to stare at you blankly. Slowly, as if with great effort, he begins to reply to you. Only your speak with dead power makes him understandable. Yes. I am Dimtree. Why are you here, Dimtree? Dimtree slowly glances at the shopkeeper and makes a feeble gesture toward him. Seeing that as a sign of interest, the shopkeeper redoubles his efforts in telling whatever tale he is relating to the poor creature. Dimtree looks at you again. Hamris. He talks. Hamris never stops. Wanders town. Annoys Master. Annoys everyone. Master create Dimtree. Tells Dimtree talk Hamris. Now Hamris stay in shop. Master happy. Town happy. Dimtree sad. No! His torture is to stay here and talk to Hamris. Is there anything I can do to help you, Dimtree? The creature pauses, then resumes his slow speech with you. You can almost detect a pleading tone in his voice. Yes. Find Master. Sebastian. Ask him release me. Please. He turns his attention to Hamris momentarily. Please. All right, farewell, Dimtree. We'll see if we can indeed get whatchamacallit to help us here. This is a tombstone or a headboard. You're not sure. I don't feel like opening coffins. This board contains various tools used in the art of coffin making. That's weird. Here we go. What's this? A completed coffin. The workmanship is not of the highest quality. You see a rugged-looking, square-jawed man. He turns to you with a wide smile. How are you, Cutter? Good day to you. Good day indeed. He squints at you for a second, then juts his hand out to shake yours. Hey, greetings. Hamri's at your service, member of the Harmonium and the fashioner of fine coffins for the recently departed. I think I know you, do I not? Let me see if I can place it. He pauses to think a moment. Sharp with names I was in the Harmonium. Let me tell you, knew everyone on the entire ward. I have some questions for you. He nods. Ask away. He gives you a broad smile. Oh, what can you tell me about this ward? Oh, well, sure, the lower ward. He leans forward as if explaining something to a small child. You know, It's little known to most newcomers, even people in the wards. Most people think that this ward gets its name simply because it's not as prestigious as some of the other wards. But that's not it at all. Not at all. Do you know where the name comes from? He looks at you expectantly. Oh, from all the lower plane portals? He nods, though he seems a little disappointed that you know. Yes, indeed. These portals to the lower planes are actually the reason for the smog in the skies here. He glances upwards as if imagining a sky above your heads. And I'm sure you're already aware of the condition that's plagued the ward. No, tell me about it. It's because of the portals of the lower planes. They are the reason behind the smog that fills the area, belching out noxious gases and all. Fortunately, winds from the spire help to blow away the worst of the mists. But it can bring others in the ward with much weaker constitutions down and fill them full of sickness. He shakes his head sadly. Fortunately, my harmonium training has prepared me for all sorts of hazardous conditions, and after my travels to lower planes, the smog of this ward is little to bear indeed. What is there to see in this ward? A great deal. Where to start? If we were to step past all the kilns, forges, breweries, and distilleries scattered amongst the many garbage fires, not to mention the alchemist's dens, the crematoriums, meat-curing houses, and the charcoal burners, and imagine the ward itself as a whole, one could say, well, there's the foundry, the siege tower, and... Well, tell me about the foundry. The Great Foundry is the headquarters of the Believers of the Source, also known to some of the laymen as Godsmen, because of their belief that everyone can achieve divinity. He shakes his head. The Great Foundry is much like their philosophy, a large, sprawling structure that seems to produce nothing but smoke. I mean, when was the last time you saw one of the Believers of the Source suddenly become a power? Not any time in the faction's history. Well, tell me about the Godsmen a little bit more. Actually, friend, Godsmen's is a layman's term for their faction. The real name of the organization is, in actuality, the Believers of the Source. They hold to an interesting, if ultimately flawed, philosophy. They believe that everyone has a capacity, or capability, of aspiring to divine status simply by applying themselves. He shakes his head indulgently as he pauses to think. Go on. As my tour of duty with the harmonium quickly proved, there are many who could never aspire to divinity, no matter how long they sought it or applied themselves. Nevertheless, the Believers of the Source work quite hard, he shrugs, and their little faction is pleasant enough. Can you tell me about some of the other factions? He smiles, eager to talk. Oh, certainly, friend. I can tell you a little bit about the harmonium, the mercy killers, or the governess. What would you like to start with? Tell me about the harmonium. He stands proudly. The primary faction of Sigil is, of course, the Harmonium. We are the faction dedicated to preserving law and order in Sigil, and there is no other more important function. Progress can only be achieved in a state of peace and harmony. There are those that think otherwise, but they don't have our resolve, and thus they shall fail. Tell me about another one. You mentioned the Governors. He nods knowingly. The Fraternity of Order is their proper faction name. They are dedicated to law and knowledge. They spend most of their time simply researching every aspect of law. Now, I'm not talking just man-made laws. No, their search goes much deeper. They want to know the how and why behind everything. Because of the devotion to law, they also run the courts of Sigil and act as lawyers, judges, advocates, and such. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. Tell me about the Mercy Killers. The Mercy Killers stand for justice. To them, justice is everything. It's an absolute and perfect. They dedicate their lives to dispensing justice, but it must be done correctly according to the law. They firmly believe that by imposing justice on the multiverse, it can be cleansed of evil and made perfect. Can I ask you something else? Ask away. What can you tell me about the city of Sigil? Sigil. Sigil is a city at the center of all things, or so many believe. It is a city of doors. There are literally thousands of portals here. It is home to the Lady of Pain herself, he shrugs. Sigil is a topic that can fill volumes and volumes of volumes. You mentioned portals. Do you know of any? Portals? Do I know about portals? Well, none personally, except some of the more common ones. I imagine they can be found in practically every ward. Portals are funny things. Sometimes they shift around, at other times they simply seem to vanish. They are hard to keep track of, he shrugs. Let me ask you something about... I'm sorry. Let me ask you about the Lady of Pain. Oh, the Lady of Pain. Henry leans in and drops his voice slightly. One of the multiverse's greatest mysteries. Everyone will agree. I think she's proved beyond a doubt's shadow that females are the most dangerous creatures in the multiverse. Go on. Some say she's a goddess, a power that's made Sigil her home. Truth is, she breaks the laws of every power I've encountered. Powers need worshippers, gives them their power. But the lady doesn't like to be worshipped. People do end up in her shadow, their flesh torn apart by invisible blades. Now, I've seen some horrible things in my life, things that would make another man's knees go weak and make him lose control of his vitals. Doesn't even compare to seeing one of the lady's victims. Interesting. What else can you tell me? Next is, she don't take to the people who try to play God in Sigil. See, you may not know this, but first off, no powers can enter Sigil. Not Zeus, not Ra, no one. Word is that the lady's presence somehow keeps them out. Can't get in, not a one. And that twists their stems like you wouldn't believe. Sigil's such a sweet fruit that anyone who would want to pluck, that the other powers are always looking for some way into Sigil. They haven't succeeded. Go on. Well, it goes beyond that. Not only does the lady keep them out, she keeps anybody inside the city from harming it. Certainly she has help from our faction, the Harmonium, since we like order. But every once in a while, a foolish bastard takes it into their head to start fighting on the streets of the city. Maybe decide to kill a few Dabbas, brew up some chaos, or start casting mass destruction spells. Not a good thing. Makes the lady upset. Doesn't like to see your city hurt. She'll kill you, or maze you for doing such. Maze you? You haven't heard of the mazes? He looks at you condescendingly. You are green. The lady's got extra-dimensional prisons she can place special offenders in. You see, she takes a little bits of Sigil, shapes them into mazes, then cuts them off from Sigil. You'll be walking home one night or be stepping through an archway near your home, then suddenly everything changes. You won't be in the place you remember, you'll be trapped. Chance is there's a way out once you're in a maze, but you'll be dead and gone before you tumble onto the dark of it. How to escape. Who's your friend here, by the way? He glances at the customer. Dimtree, he shrugs, like he hadn't considered the fellow before. Quiet. Doesn't say much, do you, Dimtree? Dimtree doesn't respond, but simply gives the same blank expression. A few seconds later, he nods. Hammer's shrugs, turns back to you. Wandered in one day a few weeks back, been a regular ever since. Hasn't bought anything. Well, he doesn't cause much trouble, so I let him stay. Seems harmless enough. You see, when I was serving the Harmonium, part of our work was to take people under our wing, give them a little shelter from the chaos on the streets, get them spruced up. Well, thank you, Hammer's. I must be going. I don't feel like telling him he's a zombie. Okay. Wow, we have another quest. I don't remember this one. Let's go see if Sebastian, if he's still around, will break the curse of the zombie. Rather, let the zombie rest in peace, quite literally in this case, huh? Oh, wow! Holy crap! I was just in the coffin maker, and it occurred to me, I have a quest I haven't solved from ages ago. Okay, we're gonna go all the way back to the Hive to complete a quest, if I'm able. Wow. There's a remember the Criers of Aemon, I think is what his name was, a long time ago. He's crying because he's worried no one will remember the city. I remember how to solve that. I'll see if I can do so. Sebastian smiles at you. Good day, Cutter. How may I help you? Never mind, Sebastian. Farewell. Oh, we can't actually get him to release the curse on the zombie.
Done.
Okay, so let's see if we can travel back to the Hive. Can we go to the... Whoa. Can we go back to the Hive? Oh, yes, I want to go here.
You know, Fiendling, you're alright. Well, if you weren't being such a banshee all the time.
And if you weren't yourself all the time, you might be a fine skull too.
I think I'm in love.
That was a good comeback from her. Okay.
I'm gone.
I remember this. Wow, I can't believe I forgot about it for so long. Being near the dead, it suddenly occurred to me that I haven't done this. So...
Alright.
Let's go back here. And talk to Death of Names.
Hey, we're being watched, Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
You see Death of Names. He is standing at the monument with the same crooked smile, his arm cradled against his side. Greetings. Once again, his eyes seem to slide over you. Name. The way he speaks the word, it sounds like the tolling of a bell. I'd like to bury a name. He nods and unfolds a small hand from where it's cradled on his side. It looks atrophied. It's the size of a small child's hand. Costs Jink to bury a name. 3 coppers. 3. S. Annan.
Updated my journal.
The coppers fall into Death of Name's hand. He then tucks his arm back into his side. His eyes, now suddenly alive, roll to the back of his head, then snap forward, and he begins scanning the monolith and walls of the memorial area. He catches sight of a spot on the wall, and he quickly scuttles over to it, punches down, and begins to chip at the wall. He stops a few moments later, hops up, then returns to you. Buried. The word has a finality about it that makes you uncomfortable. Thank you. Farewell. Alright, let's now go and tell the crier about this. Oh, the game's...
Things get any worse, I might as well go dip my pen in the Lady of Pain.
Watch your bone, Bog Skull. Don't be taking a name in vain like that.
What, you mean the Lady of Pain? Is talking about the Lady of Pain a bad thing? Why would the Lady of Pain mind us talking about her, huh?
Are you trying to get us all carved to pieces? Don't you be tempting fate like that, Skull.
Fate shouldn't tempt me.
Holy crap! Word, that was awesome. That little thing that reminded me of Bonehead from Quest for Glory 4. Okay, so things are a little different now on the map. It now takes us 8 hours to travel to different locations, so we're gonna have to rest a lot more often. Is this the gentleman? Here he is. You see the crier of Es Anan. He still emits choked sobs as he chants the dead city's name, and tears roll down his cheeks. I have seen to it that Es Anan's name has been remembered. It lies carved upon the black stone monument outside the mortuary.
Updated my journal.
Suddenly, there was a brief whisper in the air, and the man's eyes dry. One of the tears that ran down his cheeks simply vanishes. Then, Es Anan is served. I will tell my fellow criers of the stone you have described. You have my gratitude. It was nothing. Farewell. I hope you and your brother spend the rest of your days peacefully. Probably should have done that a long time ago.
All right.
Because that wasn't a ton of experience points. So you know what? While we're here, let's sell some stuff to the merchants. Let's also buy some more fruit. We meet again. Some sea plums today. A Borean fire seed. Oh, what do you have? So, let's go ahead and ask. I think we had the fire seeds and the pears. What does the bread taste like? I can only suggest you try it, my good man. See for yourself. All right, let's purchase some bread. He offers you 2 thick slices of spiced nut bread. They are very aromatic, smelling of carrots and almond. The bread tastes much as you had expected of carrots and almonds. It is slightly sweet and light, leaving you hungry for more of this stuff. Oh, I love nut bread so much. I make a... Well, yeah, I make a chocolate walnut bread. It's so good. It's also so unhealthy for you, but oh, it isn't so delicious. Let me try that seed plum. He hands you a small plum of an odd blue-green color. Don't worry, they're pitless. Eat the whole of it. Alright, here we go. The plum's rind is slightly bitter and extremely sour, enough to make one grimace and shudder, but the fruit's meat is remarkably sweet. Eaten together, they complement each other well. Thank you, sir. Farewell. Alright, so can we sell some stuff here? Oh, and do I have friends memorized? No. Oh, I don't keep friends? I don't keep friends, everyone. I just don't keep them. I'm all combat related at the moment. Okay, well, so much for that. Let's see if we can sell some stuff here. So he'll buy charms. He'll buy the merc. Will he buy... No, he won't buy rings or amulets, though. Okay. Alright, never mind. Alright, so then let's head on back to the lower ward. Actually, I think we're done, aren't we? With the lower ward. Yeah, I think we're done. Alright, we're going to go back to the lower ward anyway to rest.
Done.
And then we'll head up to the upper ward. Oh, there's Weak Wind. I haven't seen him in a while. There's a green girl.
Done.
It's all colors here. Is there anything else I need to do in the hive while I'm here? I probably should check my journal really quick. So let's do that. Let's check my journal. It's been a while. So what quest do we have? Help Sevtai get her revenge. We still need to kill one more of the starved dogs barking. We have the decanter of endless water, but we put it down because I don't intend to free Ignis. Weak Wind's Curse of Stench. We haven't figured out how to do that yet. Find a spell ruby for Jarum. Find a night hag Russell. Okay, well, I know where I can get a ruby from for Jarum. We can go and purchase it at least. Maybe? That'll be in the Alley of Dangerous Angles. You know what? Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't know. Alright, well, we'll try it anyway. I don't know what that mage is trying to work on, what spell he's trying to cast. We'll go here anyway. Okay.
I'm gone.
Oh, wow, nice. We appear right in the middle. That's fantastic, so I want to go here. So what do you guys think of the game? We've been playing it for many, many episodes now. As you can see, it's quite story-related. Not as much combat as games like Baldur's Gate had. I really like the story. We're almost up to the part where the maximum I've played the game. Hello, Ola. May Oscar grant you safe passage. How may I help you? I'd like to purchase that gem you took from Morador's box. Oh, the urge. The urge is overwhelming, but I'll behave. Luckily for you, I haven't had the time to sell it yet. I'll let you have it for the bargain price of 300 coppers. I'll take it. May Alsaskar, the god of portals, doors, and opportunity, smile upon you. Farewell.
I'm gone.
Oh, I have such a good pun. You know what it is. You know what it is, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. All right, so let's get out of this alley. I guess I need a place to rest. So my characters will begin complaining of being up for so long. So I need to sleep somewhere, and then we can continue our journey. We'll have to probably sleep in 2 places. And I thought it was weird that suddenly the game went to Baldur's Gate's way of doing time when it wasn't that case before. I think what happened is that the city expanded. The Alley of Lingering Sighs basically grew itself. Oh, look at that! We can go to the Player's Maze? Oh, I never saw this before. Okay, that's really cool. I guess we can go back there if we really want to. Or can we? I don't know. Alright, so let's go to this hive.
If you need to go somewhere, Skull, don't let us keep you.
I have a name, you know.
I have several names for you. None of them fit for polite company.
All right.
I love that accent. Okay, so we're going to stop in here and sleep. She thinks it'll be an opportunity to take a look at my spell selections again. So let me see what I've got. So I love Chromatic Orb. I like having 1 Scripture of Steel. Magic Missile is helpful. I want to cast Missiles of Patience. So no, we won't redo it. I don't have Identify in my spell book. So this will be fine. I like having 1 of each of these. And I want both of them. Alright then. Dakon? He also doesn't have Identify. Okay. Alright, so then let's just rest.
I wonder how much copper you'd be worth to the Dusty Skull.
Interesting you should bring that up, because just the other day I was asking them how much they pay for you.
Death's too good for you, Skull.
Oh my god, that was great. He throws it. Oh my god, those two are fantastic. Wow, they hate each other, but they won't leave me for some reason.
Give it a rest. You don't want to sleep on the streets and get killed out here.
That's a good point. We will. Not at the moment. At the moment, we are continuing with our adventure. So we want to go now to Ragpicker Square, and from here, I think it was this place.
All right.
That's right. This is where we killed Sharegrave for. We didn't give him information. He decided to attack me. Oh nope, this is the wrong place. All right, that place must have had some cranium rats in it.
I'm gone.
Or something. Is this the place? Maybe this is it.
All right. All right.
Hello, sir. Oh, you're back. Did you manage to find the gem? I know it's been a few weeks. It's actually been about 10 days, I think. 10 or 11 days. Oh, is this what you're looking for? Oh, that's perfect. Where did you... Never mind, here. Jerem takes the gem from you, handing you a good sum of coins. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to work on my spell.
Updated my journal.
Looks like he gave us 300 coins for it. But we also gained 500 experience points, which is about 125, actually, split amongst us all. It's something. That
I
kind
will
of...
hear you.
You leveled up yet? Oh, so close. 300 more experience. So not only, remember, the experience is split evenly amongst my group, but Dakon and Anna are dual class, so it's every experience they get is halved again. Alright, so we're going back to... Actually, we're done with the lower ward, aren't we? I don't think there's anything else I need to do there. Let's head there anyway.
You know, Fiendling, you'd look a lot better if you dressed up some more. Yeah, you know, a pair of lace boots with lengthy heels on them to go with those emerald eyes.
If I were you, I'd learn to latch my bone box.
Well, if I were you, I'd rent a suite and not come out for a month.
Mort! Oh, that's interesting. So she insults him, and Mort says that if he was her, he'd, well, I guess he'd explore her finer qualities by himself, as it were, as her, in a room for a long time. Alright, we're here to rest, so let's do that. We'll probably end up resting twice.
You know, Fiendling, you're like an Arborean fire seed.
I'd stop now if I were you.
Yeah, your hair's like a sweet, tender flame, yet inside you're bitter, like a beetle sting.
You know, Skull, you're going to be doing your grinning on the tip of a pike one of these days. Aye, and that'll be the least of your worries after I'm through with you.
Sometimes I wish you just loved me for who I am, not what I can do for you.
Wow! Oh my god!
I'm gone.
I don't know. Mort's very witty. Anna's very insulting. I don't know which I like. I think I do like Mort's comebacks better, but Anna's got a few clever ones too. All right, let's head up to the clerk's ward now. I think that's the only location here I haven't been to yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Let's get going.
This ward's usually just home to a bunch of scribes, but this section's got the fest hall in it, so it's a little more lively.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Everyone, this looks like a good place for me to stop at the moment, too. So when we come back, we'll explore some of the clerk's ward. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Take care.